The success of each step in the sales process is strongly dependent on the success of the previous one, and every small detail in each step builds up to a successful sales meeting. That's why when sales professionals don't do a good job of building rapport, it negatively affects each of the following steps, and ultimately, they have a difficult time closing sales. Now, some of you may be thinking, but what about all those great closing technique videos I watch on YouTube? Here's the deal. Starting with trust and rapport, each step builds on the next, and when executed correctly, the close is actually the easiest part. Business author and former FBI lead international kidnapping negotiator Chris Voss states the overarching philosophy in negotiating is to help your prospects relax, build a rapport with them, and begin building trust so they feel comfortable enough to share their needs with you, and so they will see that you are actually there to help them. That same philosophy is used by the best sales professionals in every interaction with a prospect, and that's why we spend so much time on the details that make up the essence of the sales interaction before we start talking about the structure and the closing techniques of the sales interaction. To get a better understanding of why building rapport and trust is so important to the close, let's reverse engineer the sales process so that we can take our global perspective and break it down into sequential order and better explain why each step of the sales process is so critical. We'll start with the close first and work our way back through the entire sales process. During the close, what is the final action you are trying to get from your buyer? What is it that you want her to say? Exactly. You want your prospect to say yes to your solution. That was an easy one. Let's go to another easy one. In order to get your buyer to say yes to purchasing your solution, what do you have to do? That's right, you have to ask. Now, you'll be surprised how many sellers actually forget about this step and never actually ask for the sale. Now, in some cases, they don't forget to ask for the sale, but rather they're just afraid to. They feel that when they do ask, they might get rejected and get told no. So this fear causes sales professionals to extend the sales process much longer than normal and actually increases their chances of the buyer telling them no. This might be the reason why so many sales training discussions revolve around the closing techniques. While asking for the sale is very important, as we continue to work backwards towards the opening of the sales process, you'll quickly realize that there are much more important steps you'll need to take that'll make the close much easier. Let's keep moving. Now, before you can ask for the sale, what do you have to do first? That's right, you have to present your solution to the buyer so that you have something to ask for and your buyer has something to say yes to. Pretty straightforward, right? Now, it is straightforward, and unfortunately, that's why so many sales professionals stop here. Here's their approach. They practice giving a really compelling sales presentation. Then they practice some fancy closes to ask for the sale. In actuality, this practice does not make you a sales professional. It really makes you a walking, talking, living, breathing, overpaid sales brochure. We call this method the spray and pray method. Does it work? Yeah, it sure does work sometimes. And here's where sales professionals get frustrated and start blaming their failure on other people. You see, because the spray and pray method works sometimes, we think it's because we're really good salespeople when we do make a close. And when it doesn't work, we put the blame on something or someone else. But that's not what top sales professionals do. They know there are more steps before the presentation and before the ask. And they know that the small, seemingly insignificant actions they take during each of these steps is going to make a huge impact when they do ask for the sale. I know. I can't wait to learn more either. Let's go ahead and dig into our next session.